On behalf of the Marshalls and Damrons, we would like to thank you all for coming out this evening. Who gives the bride over to be with Andy?
We do.
We do.
Love you.
Please join us in prayer. Dear Lord, today we are here to rejoice in the marriage of Andy and Elizabeth and celebrate the love that brought them to this moment right now. I pray that every day they push to love each other even more than the last day, and that their house becomes a place of happiness for all who enter it. And that their house isn't just a house for laughter, movies, and yes, dog cuddling, but is a place for growing, for hope, and for family as well. And I pray that those who are dearest to them become engulfed and enriched by their love for one another. Amen. Now, some of you may be thinking, who is this guy officiating this wedding? Well, I got lucky enough to meet Andy back in college as a sophomore, and since then, we've been friends. So when Elizabeth and Andy asked me to marry them, saying no wasn't even on my radar. And here we are. And on behalf of everybody present today, I would like to express how ecstatic and honored we are to all be here at this moment with you all. And yes, I even am somewhat surprised that Andy was able to find such an amazing woman in Elizabeth who understands, quote unquote, Andy logic. Andy's the type of guy who everybody wishes they knew, or everybody wishes they were friends with. If people are being boring, he brings the excitement. If people are in need of some humor, he brings the smiles. And if people are in need of some calm, then I might not recommend Andy.
Pretty short.
Now, Elizabeth is the type of woman who is made for a guy like Andy. She truly is the inspiration to all of his excitement, all of his smiles, and all of his fortitude. She pulls her love from those around her, remaining intentional and supportive for Andy with every day of their union, even as he makes up lyrics to songs on their many adventures, or hums off tune. Henry Drummond once said, "You will find as you look back upon your life that the moments when you have truly lived are the moments when you have done things in the spirit of love." This couldn't ring more true for these two. With Elizabeth at Radford University and Andy at Virginia Tech, the universe began to pull them closer together, even in their college days. However, their moment didn't come until later, and it's incredible how instantaneous their connection was with one another when it did. I'm not sure if everybody here knows what Tinder is, but it's a phone app where guys and girls are matched with one another, and based on the other person's profile, they can swipe right and choose to talk to the other person. And in that moment, if both people agree that they would like to talk, they are connected and a match is made. So it had been about 20 minutes after Elizabeth had downloaded the app, and both of them swiped right. And now you both stand here, in front of family and friends, proclaiming your unyielding love for one another and experiencing another precious moment in the spirit of love. I would like to ask Rachel and Jen to come forward to share some readings with us at this moment.
Marriage is a commitment to life, to the best that two people can find and bring out in each other. A wife and a husband are each other's best friend, confidant, lover, teacher, listener, and critic. Marriage deepens and enriches every facet of life. Happiness is fuller, memories are fresher, commitment is stronger, even anger is felt more strongly, but passes away more quickly. When two people pledge to love and care for each other in marriage, they create a spirit unique to themselves, which binds themselves closer than any spoken or written words. Marriage is a promise, a potential, made in the hearts of two people who love, which takes a lifetime to fulfill.
Every wedding is a dream, and every word that is spoken there means more than it says. And every gesture, the clasping of hands, the giving of rings, is rich with mystery. And so it is that we hope with every bride and groom that the love they bear one another and the joy they take in one another may help them grow in love for this whole world where their final joy lies.
Now, I got the pleasure of meeting with Andy and Elizabeth and asking them identical questions and requesting them to respond completely independent of one another without sharing their answers with one another. And it was amazing how similar their vocabulary was between the two of them throughout the responses. When describing each other, words such as loving, caring, sweet, and fun were all jotted down at every chance they got when describing the other person. But there was one constantly reiterated word: adventure. And that couldn't be more fitting, since the both of you are now embarking on the greatest adventure of your lives. Today, the joining of these two individuals is symbolized through the pouring of sand into from the individual containers into one single container. One representing you, Andy, all that you were, all that you are, and all that you will become. And the other representing you, Elizabeth, all that you were, all that you are, and all that you will become. As these two containers are poured into the third container, your two individual containers will cease to exist and in place be joined together as one. And just as these grains of sand can never be separated and poured into their individual containers again, so will your marriage be.
We'll finish it later.
Andy, Elizabeth, these are the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love. They're holding yours on your wedding day as you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other. These are the hands that will hold you when fear or grief fills your mind. These are the hands that will countless times wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow and tears of joy. These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children. These are the hands that will help you hold your family as one. These are the hands that will give you the strength when you need it, and these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged, you will still be reaching for the other person's, giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Andy and Elizabeth have chosen to recite their own vows, and at this moment, I'd like to ask them to go ahead. Elizabeth, you may start. Yeah.
Okay. I might correct this. Okay, I'm 100%. Okay. Andy,
I can't believe this wonderful day is finally here. It feels like we've been waiting our whole lives for this moment. Even on our first date, I felt this energy and excitement from being with you. And I just knew I had to make sure that you were going to stick around. You're such an amazing man, and I consider myself lucky to be able to say that I'm your wife. Yay! I love the way we know each other so well. Sometimes I can even tell you what you're thinking before you have a chance to say it, and then we just laugh about it. So remember, I always know what you're thinking. Finding you has been all the proof I need that soulmates exist. You are a selfless, loving person who can always find a way to make me laugh. We have experienced so many wonderful adventures already, and I can't wait to see what's in store for our lifetime together. So today, in front of our family and friends, I promise to always kiss you good morning and good night. I promise to try and control my sassiness when I'm hungry. I promise to take care of you when you're feeling sick. I promise to only talk when the commentators aren't during tennis matches. I promise to always be up for whatever adventures life throws our way. I promise to love you unconditionally every day. But most of all, today I vow to be your wife and your best friend forever, because you're my lobster.
I can't follow that. Elizabeth, on October 17th of 2014, only a month after we were dating, we had a conversation about who our wedding party would be for our weddings. Not this wedding, just our weddings in general. The same people that are up here with us today, loving and supporting us, are the same names that we mentioned to each other almost 2 years ago. Some small part of me always knew that you were going to be the girl up here with me today. I was lost before I met you, but once you entered into my life, everything got better. You always see me for who I am, and you just know exactly how to make me happy. I love you so much and cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I will promise to always respond to your funny sounds with even more funny sounds. Bleep, boop, bleep, beep, beep. I promise I will always be the one that gives Optimus his medicine. I promise I will always check to see if Havoc is under the bed. I promise I will always give Haley cute little cuddles. I promise we can see an occasional girl movie in theaters. I promise to always take care of you no matter what. I promise to do everything in my power to make you smile. I will always say I love you every single day for the rest of our lives. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love and be loved in return. Thank you for teaching me that quote. I will always love you more.
Paul, rings, please. You can just set them right in here. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Now, just as the sand symbolizes the two individual lives becoming one, the ring symbolizes the wholeness of love, unbroken and everlasting. These precious metals represent the sincerity of y'all's commitment. It is strong, enduring, and does not tarnish. And as you wear them, may you be reminded of your eternal love and devotion for one another. Now, to the almost Mr. and Mrs. Marshall, live for each other with every breath you take, and through hardships and lows, never forsake what the two of you are creating today. Pull each other closer and cherish your love, for the love we all have the honor of witnessing today is eternal. And Elizabeth and Andy, you both have so much of the world to see and so much of a family to be. So go together, hand in hand, as your adventure starts today. I'd like to hand this over to you. Elizabeth, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
Andy, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that I give to you Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Marshall. Andy, you may kiss your bride.